All right.
Hey, South Texas, this is Mary Rodriguez. I'm the official host for The Devil Inside. This is Bob Rules. He's an amazing artist. We'll be interviewing right now. This is Scott.
Our co-host, online co-host now.
How's it going? Co-host. How's it going, Mary?
Yes. Alrighty, so this is Bob Rules. He's very new to the art community, but he's so talented and just so lucky to have him here tonight. Bob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been tattooing for 14 years. I've been painting for about 12. And my goal, I guess, is just to put my art out there and see where it goes.
So tell us a little bit about what inspired you, what brought this artwork on today, why you brought this specific artwork out today.
The art show is The Devil Inside. I mean, with me personally, it has to deal with depression, anxiety, and pretty much emotions a lot of people go through. And my art, I guess, personifies or externalizes what you go through during those periods. So my thing is to just put it out there and help people relate and connect with that type of art style. So it's kind of dark, it's kind of weird, it's very surreal, and I make up my own characters, and I kind of just have people make their own experience of what they see in my art.
So let's go ahead and bring out the first piece right here. We definitely have a mask of some sorts.
Look at that detail. Let me get a good shot of this. And you know, looking through it from the camera, I get a whole new feel for it too. It's just great work.
So is this acrylic?
Yes. All I use is the cheapest acrylics I can find. I don't use any brand name stuff or brand name brushes.
Wow.
I just kind of work with whatever I have around me. So my thing isn't getting the best type of medium out there. It's just kind of getting out what I feel and what I'm going through.
So what were you going through when you painted this, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, anxiety itself, I guess a lot of people can relate, is just like when you're going through a lot of stuff inside, you kind of have to put a mask on. Yeah, you can't really express it much because people will think you're crazy or weird. So you have to put a mask on and you have to put this facade of love and everything's okay. So
You have a light behind the dark, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you have this weird thing going on, but you have to put your mask on in day-to-day life. And that's kind of what I did with this one. And a lot of my pieces kind of roam around that type of, I guess, beginning. Like, that's where it all starts.
And it's all so true.
So now that we have the beginning, let's see the finish then.
Oh, this is my one.
An amazing art piece here. Amazing light contrast, highlights, colors. Everything behind this speaks art. No matter where you come from, what medium you come from, be it acrylic, paint, oil, welding, woodwork, you understand depth, lighting, shade, highlights. This is definitely something to look into and understand artwork as a whole. You want to explain a little bit about this artwork?
Yeah, the state of this piece is called Common Gentlemanly. You have the fire inside of you, you have the chaos that's in your mind, but you have to remain okay and live your day-to-day life. So I gave him a little bow tie, and he's kind of just relaxing with a cigarette, which helps me with my anxiety and my emotional distress that I go through. And the fire's about to go out, he's relaxing, and I think everybody can relate to something like that.
So through every painting that you go through, are you smoking a cigarette or
Many, more than one.
many cigarettes throughout the whole process?
Sadly, it's my only addiction that I regret, but it helps me get through the tough times, the deep thoughts, the scary stuff everybody goes through, I guess. So
I think we're all addicted to something.
Yes.
And
Everybody has their vice, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how long does it take to paint one of these?
One of these, a 16 by 20 canvas, takes about 2 to 4 days, depending on the detail and the layering. But recently I've gotten about maybe a day or two, especially if it's a mission piece. So I just want to get it done, and I want to get it out to people, post it on my social media sites. So.
what were your steps with that piece? Like, as far as painting, did you paint your background first or your foreground, or did you kind of mix back and forth?
With this piece, like what you do is I map out like black and white paint only, and you get your figures out, and then you get your reference to get the detail for like the wrinkles, the lights, the eyes, the lips. I run through a lot of magazines and I pick them out and I see what I like, but I start with black and white and then I come back and color stain everything with like the yellows, the reds, the oranges to get the blood circulation, the realism. So the foreground is the most important, and the second step is getting the contrast or the colors that match whatever I'm doing in the foreground to kind of complement everything as a whole, and then you go from there and just kind of run off and do your own thing. Like, I don't have a specific way of doing it, but that's kind of where I've gone with it.
Is the light source the most important thing when you're doing this?
Yes, because you're dealing with shapes and everything that you paint, so you map out everything and you put kind of an arrow of where, you know, like on this painting, the highlight in his eyes shows where the light is, and then you kind of just run off with everything from there, and then you just have fun.
You're starting from the darks and working to the light,
Yes.
instead of the lights working to the dark.
Yeah, usually it's the lights and the darks. That's
Right.
That's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's all about lighting, it's all about color, it's all about the complementary colors and where you're going with it, but at the end of the day, I guess my thing is just to kind of help people see it and relate to it and cause them to have their emotions with whatever they're doing.
Yes.
Now,
What they feel, what they go through, and what they
Keeping
feel.
art to art.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
when you created this character, how much of it, or any of it, did it come from anyone you know or various people you know? Like, when it comes to like certain expressions, like in the eye, the mouth, skin texture, stuff like that.
Right.
How much of it do you think, like maybe percentage-wise, maybe do you think comes from like experiences in life, or like through everyday people that you see?
Derived from any inspiration.
Yeah, most of what I paint comes through my own personal experience, but when you're sitting at an airport or a bus stop or anything, you look at people and kind of see unique features about them, and I like to incorporate that. When you see like a really old guy or a really mad person, you know, I just look at them, sketch them out, and remember it, and then use it on every character that I create. So it's like, I know that they're going through something, and I know that I've gone through something, but I guess given the gift that I've gone through it, I can have the talent to express it, to show people that I know what they're going through. So it's kind of like you have a connection with people that see it and understand that you go through stuff. You have problems, you have anxiety, you want to calm down, you're crazy. And I think everybody is to an extent. So
No, absolutely. Everybody's going through battles we don't know nothing about. You know, that's where this comes in. We put in the face, we put in that fake facade. And that's awesome. And that's how today I met you and I related to him. I'm like, this is amazing work. And I'm really excited to get to know more about him. I also want to bring out the other Joker piece that is noted, not done yet, but amazing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Amazing
Yeah, so
stuff.
partial Batman. The rest of this is supposed to be finished with the Joker face.
Kind of like the wolf in sheep's clothing in reverse.
Yes.
Torn apart, definitely disguised, wolf in sheep's clothing, like you said. Especially with the highlights and bringing out the mouth and the eyes and the detail, noticing that we're keeping the person's real and keeping that facade that this is Batman, but we're also going to keep the hidden facade beside that.
Yes.
That's also the Joker.
I fell in love with this piece automatically, so it's not done yet, but I can only imagine the finished product.
It is a beautiful twist on pop art, you know,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
it blends two characters that we see often, but it also describes something that we can all relate to.
And
Or
as
at
an
least
artist,
most of
like
us.
I don't believe in Googling your references. I believe in creating your own and getting into photography. Like I use my own friends and whoever I had around to make this face or these eyes, and I think that's
It's all about
thing that
expression.
It gets lost because nowadays you can Google whatever you want and create it because you found it on Google, but
Right. Photoshop.
yeah, and I don't believe in Photoshop or anything like that, so I just kind of create my own stuff. That way, I guess, in the future, after I die,
In something like this, where do you find your light source? Because there's something like the ha ha ha, everything around him, the mouth, the eyes being the focal point, and the highlight and the texture.
From the very start, I studied anatomy in college, and have to make your own stuff up. So when I sketch something out very roughly, like you put a little arrow and you let it be known that this is a light source and this is the other light source, and you kind of just have to work with what you know. So I study a lot of anatomy, buying skulls and pictures of people and seeing how folds react to light and what brings things forward and backward. So
does it really help to actually watch like the movies that are coming out,
Yes.
and then all of these new characters that have different facades and different armor and different shapes and textures with the armor and the costumes?
Yes, because every
the old school. This is something that you don't see with the old school Batman that we've got here. This is definitely Keaton and Tim Burton. I mean, this is something that goes predated to
It's like old
Christian
school,
Bale.
new school.
it depends on where my inspiration is at the time.
I can definitely I'm not a Batman or a comic book fan, but I can definitely see like the different styles you threw in there.
I kind of wanted my own Joker to, like using my friends' faces and having them smile and taking a picture of them, putting a light source on them. That way, if somebody Googles like this painting after they buy it or after they want it, they're not going to find this every day.
Absolutely.
The same way you would in tattooing to find like I want a tribal rose and you Google it and you see it on their body, and it's like there's no reward in that in comparison to going out there and putting the work in to find your own reference, your own piece, and when it's done, there's nothing like this you can find online. So especially in this day and age.
Bob's gonna make a little mark on his name.
I hope so.
I believe in you, Mark, and keep on doing what you're doing. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
So something like this, how long do you think if this expects to take? Be it mid-project, mid-done, art-wise?
This is honestly just one day, one full day.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
the next full day I give, it's going to be completed.
Like, how many hours would you say a full day?
10, 12.
I mean, 10 and 12.
Completely committed to this.
A lot of music, cigarettes, and stress. Because honestly, as a painter, I'm not happy when I'm doing it. I'm happy when it's done. So I look at it and I hate it and I want to destroy it. But when it's finished, is the reward that I went through the process of the stress, the anger, the I can't get it right, and then after a while you're like, I kept putting in my time just as anything else, and you end up with like something you're happy with. So I'm still mad at this.
So
One
is this a
thing-
multi-medium? Is this just strictly acrylic?
The cheapest acrylics.
That's one thing I wanted to pinpoint. You said earlier you use the cheapest acrylics.
Yeah.
Now these paintings are fucking amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
And I've tried like the cheap acrylics. I'll sit here and say I am a spoiled fucking artist. I'll go out and I'll try to buy like the most expensive shit because I think, well, if this $10 paint compared to this $2 paint, I've tried them both, and they each serve their purpose. They do. Now, why do you use the cheapest paint?
Oh man.
I mean, do you prefer the challenge in it? Do you get to blend more? Do you feel like texturally it's easier for you, or?
Well, it goes deeper beyond that. Honestly, before I became a tattoo artist, and honestly, as a career, it offered a lot of opportunities to kind of get the things you wanted. But before that, I started in a poor household and whatnot, ABCD. You have
most
to use
artists,
what's
yes.
available to you.
Exactly.
So it's not about what you buy. It's not about how you use it. It's more
Right.
about like the fact that you want it to look good and you do what you do with it. So the less you have, the more creative you can be. And with cheap acrylics, with me, I've learned to, I guess, just use that to the best that it can.
Trial and error.
Yeah, I don't buy brand name. I don't try to get sponsored. As far as brushes, sometimes I'll use my hand. I'll use like a piece of napkin to kind of get the blend.
That is called being a natural, folks. That is a natural artist.
It's being poor growing up and using whatever you have around you.
That's the fuel that feeds our fire.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's paper towels.
That's stuff that will depress most people. Artists use to better themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Struggle is real.
So we've established that it's definitely the artist and not the brush.
Absolutely.
It is the Indian, not the
Let's
aerial.
not make this artist starve anymore. Let's
Absolutely.
Yes, let's buy his
get
work.
some of this stuff
Rules all
sold.
the way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bob rules.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely featured artist, amazing lighting, amazing concept, amazing view on life.
Original artwork.
You're not gonna get anything other than this right here. off the press.
You can't Google this stuff.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right.